Before we get into the red flags of having an imbalanced solar plexus, you first have to have an understanding where the chakra comes from in the first place. The name chakra comes from the Sanskrit word wheel or disc. It actually comes from the oldest religious texts before the Bible. They are called the Vedas. I have actually explained this in my previous series about the chakras, and I am doing it in every single video just in case you haven't seen the previous video. They didn't really mention about the Vedas as we know them today until later on through the Upanishads textbook, but they were still the first one to talk about the chakras in general when it comes to the energy and life prana and all that. Let's talk about the solar plexus. So the solar plexus is located above the belly button, okay? A lot of people have mentioned that it is 2 fingers above. I think it's a little bit higher than that. Just remember, it is always going to be between the heart chakra and the sacral chakra, okay? And it's always going to be above the belly button. That is where the solar plexus is located. The color of the solar plexus is yellow. This is why I'm wearing yellow. I am embodying that energy already through this video. What it really represents is transformation. It has to do with your ego. It has to do with your power and your strength and your confidence. When you think about the solar plexus, think about a lion, the roar, that fire energy. That's what it represents. It is believed that the solar plexus is fully formed between the ages of 14 and 21 years old. So think about this time period for a moment. What is happening in your life? This is a time where you're in high school, but then you also graduate. You are technically an adult. This is all about transformation. This is where you get your confidence, your power, and all that. Hello, my name is Valerie. If you're new here, I help people overcome spiritual disconnection, lack of fulfillment, and health challenges with transformative crystal healing. If that sounds like you, please subscribe to the channel and continue watching. Here are the red flags for having an imbalanced solar plexus. For the physical symptoms, the first one is digestive issues. It could be gas, it could be bloating, it could be ulcers in your stomach. The next one, it has to do with eating disorders. You're not eating enough, you're eating too much. Anything that has to do with your eating habits. And the other one that is huge, you have low energy levels. Emotional red flags is that you lack confidence. You are always behind the scenes. You prefer it because you think it's better for you. You prefer it because you don't want to be in the spotlight, because you don't want anybody to notice you. You are insecure. This is another sign. You are always insecure about everything that you do. You are questioning your decisions. You are questioning every thought, every action, everything. You do not know how to make decisions. This is very close to the sacral chakra, but here what I'm talking about making decisions is more about being the leader, taking action, making a decision for the group, making a decision for your family, for your relationship, just being the one to stand up and making a decision whether or not it was the best decision, just making that move. If you do not have that, you have an issue with your solar plexus. Behavioral red flags, you have to have control of everything because you believe by having control of everything, you can control the results. You can control what is happening in your life, when in reality it's actually the opposite. By having control, you're holding on to everything, and then what happens is that you're not enjoying the experience. Whether or not this experience is good or bad, that is not your problem. Your problem is to be able to surrender to the experience and take it as is instead of having to control it, because what's happening is that you are now receiving a different experience than it was actually intended. So let things flow to you. Stop trying to control everything. Another behavioral red flag is that you do not have the motivation that you need to move forward. Very similar to the sacral chakra, right? But this time it's all about your power. If you're constantly having to ask people, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? you are not asking yourself and how you're feeling, and you believe that other people's opinions are above yours, you have an imbalanced solar plexus. Another behavioral sign is that you're extremely submissive. You are passive. You believe by going along, taking it what it is, not getting involved in conflict is the best option. And the last one, the mental red flags of having an imbalanced solar plexus, that it is very similar to the other ones, is the lack of concentration on yourself. Let's say that you are working on something for yourself and then something else comes along, maybe a friend thought of something else, and then now you are dropping what you were doing to do that thing. Another way that you can think about concentration is having discipline. Discipline, it is huge. I would choose discipline over motivation anytime. Discipline will get you there. Motivation, it goes by feeling. It's just you're motivated to do something, you get this hype, this wave, and then it goes right down once you're over. Okay, discipline will create habits, and those habits is what's going to get you there to your goal. Let's talk about how you fix this problem, because of course you can fix it. Like I have said before with all my videos, this all has to do with energy, and energy can always be exchanged, transformed, transmuted. Okay, so the first thing, grab yourself crystals. I have to start with crystals because of course I own crystals way before I even have a shop, and crystals for me have really become an ally. Okay, so the first one that has to do with solar plexus, it could be citrine. Citrine is huge when it comes to the solar plexus. Citrine enhances personal power and confidence. It is perfect for those people who do not know how to set boundaries for themselves. It helps those people become leaders by providing the confidence that they need to just truly believe in themselves. It also increases motivation and energy. So if you're struggling to finish a project or a task, citrine is a great tool to have with you. You can put it next to your project, you can put it next to your computer by just making a list on your to-do list, maybe just the 5 top things that need to get done. And lastly, it stimulates the mind and provides focus when making tough decisions. So the way that you use it, just make sure that you put your intention. Always the left hand is for receiving, the right hand is for directing. If this healing is for you, I always suggest putting it on your left hand. If it's for somebody else, on your right hand. You can also put on your solar plexus. Just close your eyes and imagine a bright yellow light expanding, turning, and the bigger it is, the shinier it gets. Okay, so another one that can work for you and your solar plexus, that I know it is not the most popular one, but I have worked with it. I actually have a bracelet here that I bought in Puerto Rico, and it is sunstone. This one is very similar to citrine. It provides confidence, it increases motivation, but also it promotes joy and positivity. A lot of us, when we are going through our changes and our solar plexus is imbalanced, we start to be extremely hard on ourselves. And this is why I put this in the video at the end, to be kind to yourself. It's because we forget. So this stone helps you fix that thought process. It helps you alleviate that thought process and to actually be happy with what you are. It encourages independency. It encourages you to step into the light and take charge. It encourages you to finally face what you need to face. Stop hiding behind the scenes. Stop hiding in the shadows. It is your time to shine. You have the tools to do so. So stop hiding. And the way that you use it, it is the same exact way. You go ahead and put it on your left hand because that's the hand that receives the energy. The other one is to direct the energy. And of course, you can also put on your solar plexus. If you can't do this, just make sure that you have it near you. You can put it in your pocket, you can put it in your bra. Just make sure that you have at least minimum of 10 minutes a day with the stone for maximum effects. Another way that you can balance your solar plexus after you do the crystals is to do physical work. Now, I'm not asking you for you to do a marathon. I'm not asking you to go ahead and become a bodybuilder. What I'm asking you is that get physical, working on your core muscles. It is amazing because that's where the solar plexus is. That just gives you more confidence, it gives you more power, it gives a boost to that ego that you need. Because sometimes everybody talks about the ego in a negative way, but also the ego can help you in so many other things. So it is a balance, people. It is not completely bad and it's not completely good, okay? The same thing, being all brighty and light and a saint is not good either. The same goes the other way. Being extremely evil and doing bad things all the time, it doesn't help either, because you need both. There is duality in the light and the shadow. So this is another way that you can get your solar plexus just back to being active. Just get active, get physical, and trust me when I say that you will feel so much better. Something else that you can do to balance your solar plexus is that you need to put yourself in uncomfortable situations. And I say this because I always have an issue with my solar plexus and I'm constantly having to realign it, okay? And I think this always goes back to your childhood and how you were treated. I have Chiron and the wounded healer, and the Leo sign, and then Leo has to do with that power, with that confidence, with that inner power that you just want to shine. And when I was a child, I couldn't really shine much, so that kind of put my light down, and I just got used to it. I got used to being behind the scenes. I'm a Scorpio at heart, so being behind the scenes just felt really comfortable. But it's not that I was afraid of putting myself on the spot. It was more of the results because of that. I always say I have no problem speaking my mind. Is what comes after speaking my mind that I'm always concerned with. Now it's completely different because I have evolved. I am growing as a person. Spiritually, I am growing, and I have resolved a lot of the issues that have gotten me to the point that now I feel comfortable. Now I understand that there's a blockage there, and I just have to keep realigning it until your soul gets used to this new vibration, this new alignment. You just have to go ahead and put it into practice, okay? And usually the solar plexus, just remember, if you feel that there's a blockage, think about the time between 14 to 21 years old. What happened? What happened during that time? Because that's usually when your solar plexus is just, you're out there, you're doing your thing. So maybe something happened along the way that you thought it was so little, so minimal, and then it is now affecting you in your day-to-day. Now you're an adult. Maybe you have to be a leader. Maybe you have a whole entire staff, and you get uncomfortable with the situation. For a long time, I didn't want to be in the spotlight. For a long time, I didn't even want to record this video because I said, oh my god, just be in the spotlight, it is weird. First of all, I'm not very self-centered. I haven't been very humble, and there's nothing wrong with being self-centered to a certain extent. Like I have always said, there's nothing wrong about every single emotion. You just have to keep it at a level that it is not crazy, it is not affecting your soul and your path, okay? Sometimes we have to be the villain, and then sometimes we have to be the hero, and I have played both, and I have no shame in it, and you shouldn't be ashamed of it either. So get comfortable with the uncomfortable, whatever that means to you. Meaning, if you get uncomfortable when they're having a conversation about, I don't know, politics, talk about it. Talk about it with the best of your abilities. Talk about what you know. Talk about the things that you are aware of, okay? Do not put yourself out there if you're not sure what you're talking about, of course. If you get uncomfortable with just friends, meeting new people, just simply ask questions about themselves. People love to talk about themselves, and this is just an easy way to just get that solar plexus out of the comfort zone, because in reality you were here before, okay? It just became uncomfortable because something happened in your life that put you in that spot, and then you got comfortable in the uncomfortable. So now what used to be comfortable, it is uncomfortable. I hope I didn't lose you. Okay. Another thing that you can do, and that it works amazing for me as a Scorpio, is that you need to activate the warrior in you. We all have that warrior. We all have that one thing that makes us tick. You need to learn how to activate that. It does not come naturally. That doesn't not come, okay, I'm just going to sit here and wait until I feel. No, this is a muscle. This is something that you have to put yourself in situations where you need to be the warrior, where you need to fight for the cause. Whatever you believe in, maybe it could be animals, maybe it could be about the environment, maybe it could be about politics, whatever it is. Put yourself in those situations where you feel that you have the room to be the warrior, where you have the room to be yourself and to express yourself. And the last one, and it is something that you can also do to balance your solar plexus, is that you need to be kind to yourself. And I say this with much love because I need to do the same. This is a chakra that I can totally relate to. I'm constantly working with this chakra. I have to continue to work with it because this chakra has gone through so many things in my childhood that has kind of messed me up as an adult, but now I'm getting better. It's just constant work, guys. This is not something that you do today and it's going to be like that forever. This is a lifestyle that you have to be always tapping into yourself, checking what is going on around you, and just be kind to yourself. And that is easier than done. Be kind to yourself when nobody's there for you to let you know, hey, you've had enough for today. Be kind to yourself when you're hurting. Accept that feeling. Accept the fact that you're hurting. Don't try to change it. I don't know why people do that. Just don't try to change this emotion for the positive. Don't try to make things better when in reality they are not better, because there is knowledge within that space. There's knowledge, there's experience, there's something to learn from being sad. There's something to learn from being depressed, from being happy too. Let's stop trying to change it. Be kind to yourself. When you're happy, wow, acknowledge that you're happy. This is a great day, and you know what? Tomorrow it may not be great. Be satisfied with how things are. Surrender to the idea that you have in your mind how things should be, and surrender to what it is. This is something that you have to do every day. Like everything else, it is a muscle. It is not something that is born. It is something that you learn. Well, that is all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. And now my favorite time is the question for you. Between the ages of 14 and 21, think about a time where you were so confident about one particular thing that now you feel that you struggle with. Let's talk about it.